Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Mic, and today I'm here with another guest. Mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Jean Paul Malheiro.
All right. So, for those who haven't heard your Just Taco Gabe interview, tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is João Paulo Malheiro. I'm 13 years old, and I've been living here in New York City my entire life. I started acting around 8 years old, so I've been doing it for about 5 years now.
What made you want to become an actor?
Well, when I was 8 years old, I fell in love with all of these other gamer YouTubers that were my age. And I was like, I want to be like that. I want to do this too. And I told all of this to my dad, and he was like, it's not going to be that easy. It's like there's a whole process. You got to like really get into it. And I didn't really care. I just wanted to get to the point. And he had me do this walkthrough of this VR game that we had at the time. And he was like, this is going to take a while. And I just got it like that, apparently. And from there, he was like, maybe I could try and get him into acting and see if he picks it up like that too, I guess. So I tried that, and just, I've been doing it since then for the past 5 years.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So, let's see, you were on the show maybe a couple months, a year ago. What have you been up to since then?
Since then, I haven't really been getting that much auditions really, but it's been giving me time to focus more on my writing, I guess, on my songwriting. So that's been going pretty well. And I finished an EP, which is great. I'm recording that now, and I am doing an album now.
Ah, that's great to hear, definitely. So, you were in a Apple Plus TV series.
Mhm.
Tell us about that.
Well, with extrapolations, that was my first major role, and I was 11 years old. I didn't know what to expect of it, but it was overall like almost like a starter pack, if that makes sense. It had elements that I feel like I'm gonna see at least one more time throughout my whole career.
Mhm.
There was the green screen things. It was sad. There were wholesome moments. There was devastating moments. There was angry moments. It was just it all flowed and it all came together. So that's sort of how it was for me.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. You get to like kind of like have a sneak peek of everything you'll end up having to do again later.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's a bit of a side note. What was it like meeting Tobey Maguire? Because I'm a huge fan of the original Spider-Man movies. I had to ask this.
um, with Toby, it was terrifying and then it was great because when I first walked into the premiere, I met him at the premiere. I saw him. He was sitting on a couch, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta say hi, I gotta say hi. But then I was like, okay, maybe not now, maybe not now. And when Sienna Miller came, who I met before,
Mhm.
she'd already met Tobey Maguire, and I told her, and she was like, okay, have you met him yet? And I said no. And she was like, okay, let's go. She almost like dragged me along. So then she pulled me over because they wanted to take a group photo, and when we took the group photo, I said hi, and I got to meet him, and I was like, oh my god. And he was super chill, by the way. He was really really nice, and he was just so casual about it. So yeah, it's kind of how he
Oh,
was.
that's great to hear, definitely. Right. So you do your music, right? You do your acting. Of all your projects, what would you say is your favorite?
Um, Probably extrapolations because it's definitely the biggest thing I've ever done. It was what really really got me into it, and it was, yeah, like what I said before, like the starter pack reference. It really just got me into the whole flow. Like it pushed me into it, and I sort of just needed that push to get that mindset right. So now that's like where I am right now. So extrapolations is kind of a part of me now. So that's definitely my favorite one, at least right now.
At least right now. You might have another one in the future, but who knows?
Maybe, but we don't know.
Maybe. All right. So if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Dubai. I feel like I've never been to Asia, and I really would like to go to Dubai because it's like a city, and it's like it has those calm elements from what I know, and I've seen photos. So I did my research.
You did
It's
yours.
like, yeah, it has those calm but also those busy and like intensive almost elements, and together I feel like that's it's kind of perfect. I wouldn't want to live there for sure, but I definitely want to visit
Right. I can safely say I also did my research. I would love to go there too.
there.
Right. So what would you say is your favorite part about being an actor?
Um, I didn't really get to experience this until 2 or 3 years in. I don't remember exactly, but the moments of a final callback before you get on, right when you're having that thought where it's excitement, it's determination, and it's fear because it's almost like a final boss. It's almost like you went from there were 100 people at least, and maybe 1,000 people at most, and now you're down to the final 2 to 5, 2 to 6, and it's just that you made it this far. It's a final boss, and it's almost as if you have made it this far, and even if you don't get it, you should still be proud of what you've done.
It's actually don't think I've ever heard that before, but now that you mention it, yeah, that's like definitely a huge part of it. You get that adrenaline rush. It's great, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So let me think here. If you could direct, write, and act in any project, what would it be about?
I've thought about this for so long. I think I saw this somewhere and then I sort of took it and I flipped it. I remixed it into my own version. So basically what it would be is there would be like a husband and a wife and they could be on vacation, let's say their honeymoon, and they just got married and they're just ready to relax and settle down. And then on their honeymoon, they get separated and they can't find each other and they end up getting caught in like these side quests or these completely other very different events, and they have to do these very very complicated things, and they like as the movie goes on, it would have like two separate plots, and they have these near misses where like people that they're with individually would talk to each other or they would at least see each other, and then at the very end it all gets caught up into this one big world resolving problem, and they don't know what to do, and at this point they found each other. This would be like the
Right.
climax, and they're right there and they've met each other, and then they're just like, all right, let's
That
go home,
actually
and then they
sounds
just leave.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, though, I'd watch that. I would have. All right, you have one person to give a shout out to. So who is it?
I did a vote between my friends for this. Um, Sarah Gluck, she's someone at my school, and she has been doing performing arts for a very long time. And she recently did a musical. I wish I remember what it was called, but yeah, you should definitely check her out for anyone who's watching this.
All right, shout out to her, definitely. My final question is, well, what's next for you? You're doing all this stuff. What can we expect happening soon?
Um, well, there's not that much that I have right now. I mean, I do have another project that is yet to come out. It's supposedly supposed to come out in the summer, and it's gonna be my first movie, so that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I guess that's currently what I'm ready for next.
All right, now, last time you were on the podcast, you gave us a little taste of your rapping skills. Wouldn't mind
Yeah.
doing it again? I couldn't let you go away without asking this at least.
All right. I have a little snippet of this one song that I've been working on recently, and it's just random lyrics in my notes app. And there is this one part that I just got to get out.
All right,
Okay.
all right, here we go. Get
I'm
away.
more demanded than a penis on my Eminem. Instead of getting better when I bleed, flows command instead of it. Get better than him. In the top 20% of them, I'm better than the rest of them because I'm better. I set them up.
Ah, every time you do that. Awesome, definitely.
I just had to get that out. I've been
Get it
holding that
out.
in. Like that,
Yeah,
all that, like there's just the lyrical miracle, miracle. I just had to get it
get it
out.
out. Yeah, every time. All right. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
You too.